Okay. Work session is now in session. All right, so the first one on the list was 310 South Elm. Oh, is this yours?
That's Tracy's, yeah.
Yeah, Tracy, if you don't mind.
Oh, that's right, Tracy. Kick that. Kick that. Conflict of interest.
Mhm. Okay. All right, is there any comments?
I didn't have any.
I didn't have any there. So, so did you have any?
I don't think so. Try and get organized here.
I
Let me
guess you
just-
can come back. All right.
Let me just
Okay,
look
you
at
guys
it.
are good with that?
Yeah, I didn't have any comments. Okay. Oh, for 310. No, I think you'll be good.
I don't need to make it. So
Okay. All right. Next one was 744 Clark. New front porch. Comments from board members?
And it's tough because I feel like the drawings are still not completely coordinated, but maybe that's just a building department review to get everything clarified.
It would have been nice to have regular, excuse me, regular hardline drawings, but I think there's enough information in this submittal to show the detailing and how each piece will be matching the existing, coordinating and such, that I think there's enough in here for me.
I'm not sure exactly how to say this, but I just don't care for the porch this way on the house. I don't feel like I don't think it's adding to it's a bonus. I feel like it's detrimental to make the entry so different when it was actually a nice character of the home. So I don't know. I guess I don't quite get the reason to do this. It's a little, I appreciate the effort they've gone through to change it and so forth, but you know, trying to keep some of the detail that's on the house now. I don't know. I'm just not fond of the way that this is done. I think the house looks better without it. I understand the need to cover the door or something like that, and you know, and that they want a porch, but I think it would be a shame. And I don't know what else to say. I realize it's their house and they would like to have this porch, but I'm not in favor of it. I don't know what else to say. I know they tried putting the gable over there, and I still think that they could do that successfully, and they have not done it.
So we will need to vote on this tonight.
Mhm.
Can't
Mhm.
That's fine.
And it has to go through that one way or another.
Yeah. Did you guys talk about this last week as well? Or sorry, 2 weeks ago?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
This one wasn't on the agenda.
Okay, just checking since I wasn't here.
The last version that we had seen had the gable on it. I think there was discussion about an option to take it off. I think they obviously have gone that direction, but I think, like you're saying, there's a real struggle here. Like these pieces are not wanting to go together. And they're, I mean, I know that they've gone through a lot to get to this point, so if this is what they want, then I mean, this is what we're voting on. That is a little forced.
It's a lot forced. Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what to. I don't know what to say. I just feel like they're, when the gable was put on there, it could have been put on there successfully. It could be. So,
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree that character is lost off the home by removing the gable above the door. And that there seems like there could have been a way to work it in. I felt like the last time there was a gable and that was better for me. And it's unfortunate, but everything else, I think there's enough information. Kind of talked through that, so I think all those are kind of satisfied in my mind. It's not a standard way to convey construction, but you can kind of see through the SketchUp model that the intent is there. So I think it's good on that front. So, but I'm just not sure. I think character is lost on the house. I'm not sure if it's, it's unfortunate, but I don't know. In my opinion, it's, I guess we're voting on what's drawn up, so. I would maybe probably vote to approve it, but offer up that if they really wanted to try to keep that character, maybe they should give it another attempt.
yeah,
That's my thought. So. All right, I think that's it. Everyone made their piece. Next we have 649 foot, which is a rear addition and renovation of the exterior. Full transformation. This was a before and after, right?
Yeah, I feel like this design has been extremely simplified. I know that it's built condition right now that we're working with. And one suggestion that I had was add trim around the windows. At least on that side. Right now, it looks like there's only trim on the front.
On the side.
To help give. Yeah, it looks like the windows on the side don't
Oh,
have that.
yeah.
trim.
yeah, I thought that adding in some of the trim would actually be helpful. I think that, I guess I'd like to see a couple of those band boards in there. The rear, they had them in several places. They were separating different styles of, I'm guessing, I don't know what type of siding they have, but I'd like to see some of the band boards put back in and the window trim. I'm okay with them not having the shutters on there. That seems fine to me. And I don't even know if they were using like real shingles or anything, or if it was just, or what it was, is it vinyl? I can't tell if it says if it's vinyl or what.
Yeah, just the shake. The old ones.
Yeah.
Is it exciting?
Does it say vinyl?
Well, the old one. you're saying,
Yeah.
Or the new one. Which one's the new one?
This is the old,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
old
yeah.
one.
Gotcha. I'm following it. Yeah, that trim, if they're gonna switch out the shake to the horizontal, just add the trim boards would add a little bit of interest. I mean, why would you necessarily have to get rid of that?
I agree with adding the window trim back on the sides and then also the trim boards to help mitigate some of the plainness. It's certainly much different than what was submitted. It's really gone pretty far afield.
Okay. And there. Moving along. We have some pre-approvals. Then down to 20 East Allison. New house, I guess. Did you guys see this 2 weeks ago?
Mhm. Yeah, there was no one to represent. the
Okay.
project,
Oh, there was no discussion at all.
Just pretty much the same comments carried forward.
This one, again, we're gonna need to vote on it tonight. In here.
Still just, it's just the same.
Yeah,
So there were a couple of things different the last time
They
from
had,
the first time.
they had added window trim around the sides and the back. I believe that was one of the difference, the main difference from the original submittal.
But that column on the front is still there. And the
Yeah.
same,
yeah,
it's
that
the
column.
same.
Yeah, we've got one short column and one taller column. The suggestion had been made previously to eliminate the shorter column and just push the garage wall over to line up the walls of the first and second floor. So maybe we can review that.
Sorry, can you say that again? Push the garage front?
Yes, it was to remove the shorter column and
Yeah.
then move the garage front over. So the
Right.
walls are underneath that cantilevered portion of the second floor, rather than having the two different height columns.
Right.
That was one of the suggestions that was made.
All right, anything else? On Allison? Last one on the discussion list then is 225 Baker, second story addition, detached garage, front porch.
There's a lot of clarification that needs to be made here. There's many conflicts between the photographs and then what's drawn as existing elevations. On the front elevation, there's a window missing. The transom isn't shown above the front door. The shape of the roof above the front door is not reflecting what's on the photographs. And then there's a side elevation that's noted as an existing elevation. And the roof line is not correct. The chimney's missing. All of the windows on the second floor are missing. And somehow these errors in the existing conditions seem to have gotten carried through to the proposed elevations. So it's hard to know what the intent is. And then further, when I went back through the written scope of work to try to determine what was actually going on, there was some more conflicting information, things that talk about relocating the front door and putting a window where the front door was. That's in that written contract. Changing the front door style. And there was also a remark in the written scope of work about taking a window from the side of the house and moving it. It was in that contract. It's a contract that has the written scope of work in it. So I'm kind of wondering, what we're actually going to be doing. We have one elevation that shows the second floor addition and the other that shows just the porch. So, just a lot of clarification on what the actual scope is before we kind of get into refining the design.
And there's options within this submittal. There's different options for things.
Yes,
So
Right.
we don't know
Yeah.
which one they're going with.
right.
This is preliminary, so
Right,
it'd be good to clarify all these things for their submittal.
sure.
And
Yep.
maybe they just want to talk through their various options before they develop anything further. So, but it was a little bit hard to comment because there's so much going on.
Yeah.
That's not really coordinated.
But the options were just on the garage, right? Or was there a,
Front elevation has one too with the vaulted.
oh, it did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah,
Right.
that's right.
So it looks like on the garage, one of them's brick and one of them's got stone.
Mhm.
Yeah, and just on the front.
Right, so, I think in either one of those, you probably want to return that.
Yeah.
Was one comment I had made or thought.
Yeah, I actually felt like the garage would be okay without either one of those.
Mhm.
It would be fine. It might look, and, show the trim around the garage door and what the door might look like. And, once they get some lights next to the garage door or something like that, it'd be fine if they're only going to add that much.
Yeah.
But I agree. If they want it, then they
Mm-hmm.
would need to wrap around to some degree.
Couple feet.
Yeah.
I had a comment to maybe add windows to the second floor bathroom.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that same comment.
For the right side. Is that where,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because before it had that gable up there, actually
Mhm.
gave it a little more detail.
Right.
And there were two windows up there, an event.
Mhm. Kind of interesting, this question about, glass block or windows in showers. You just see it all over the place. So a lot of times you'll see people that don't want to do it because it's in a shower or because it's in
Yeah.
above a tub. And to me, I don't think that's the reason to not put fenestration on there.
Yeah, you can definitely obscure the glass, and
Right, obscure glass, glass block, there's all kinds of options.
it looks like the plan has a separate shower and a separate tub, so
Mm-hmm.
I assume there wouldn't be two shower heads. I mean, if they're worried about water,
Right.
there could be a window above the tub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would like, I think that the light would be nice, you
Yeah.
know, to have the light up at the tub.
Definitely.
And I would like to put a window treatment if you don't want obscure glass from the outside or something too, right?
Yeah.
It's-
Okay. We got a little bit of time. I guess there are some people here. And was that the same 2 weeks ago as well?
Right, that started in all of the meetings in August.
Gotcha.
Started back with the public as well.
Yeah. Great.
There's other ones, we also local. A little warm in here. Are you guys warm or is it just being in the math?
It's a little warm.
I'm warm.
It's all right. So you guys have a lot of projects last week. I see you got the one that was over here, worked out. That's good. I'm glad to see that get underway.
Yeah.
I drove by to see the other house on the street that they liked. I was like, oh, that other White House.
Oh, did you find it?
Oh, you found
Yeah.
it?
I was looking around Google Earth.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's got tall, it's almost like sort of French, like a
It's very European.
like a
looking.
country French style.
And where is it? It's on Pepin.
Yeah, it's at the opposite end of Papin.
It's at the
from
Rock Hill end.
Yes.
Is it new? Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
showing
It's fairly
Google
new.
Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you'd have
I
to
was
drive.
yeah, I was
It's relatively new.
driving down the street. I'm like,
So it's at Rock Hill and Papin?
Mhm.
It's a one or two in and
Yep.
it's on the
North side.
north side of the street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and after our discussion, I noticed they did pick up a lot of those elements from the house that was their inspiration. I think that helped a lot.
That was when I was. I'll get my way till it's built.
Yeah.
it was a lot better.
Yes, it was a huge, and they did so much improvement in such a short period of
Yes.
time. It was amazing. I was very happy and relieved for
Cool.
them. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope they're happy with it because they put so much into it, so.
Yeah. It's funny too, because after 6 years of doing this, it's like, I'm like, you drive by and see these new homes and you're like, didn't I look at that? Like, I mean, I don't know how many hundreds of homes. I'm sure you guys, Kelly and Will, you feel that way too.
You guys see a lot of new homes, you know, well, I've been here 4 years. Before I started in 17. Yeah, water.
It is kind of fun to
Wow.
drive down the street. You haven't been down in a while and go, oh, I remember that. That turned out great.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow, it's been 4 years since
I
you.
know, since I started, so.
Wow.
You were already on.
Yeah, so you're,
Good
it's been
boss.
6 years you've been on? here? So I've been
You
about
had just
5.
started,
or-
haven't you?
Yeah, wow.
And Carol came a little after.
I was an alternate and then moved to
Barely.
regular.
Feel like I've lived in St. Louis 5 years.
I should go back to the database and just see how many projects you guys,
Oh, wow.
as a group, with even Kyle and Mark, have
Yeah.
done over the last few years. It'd be interesting, to see how many were additions, see how many were new homes.
Would we want to know?
Jim was on the board for a long time, right?
I think 9. I think I understood he was on it for 9 years, and before him, Mike Blaze was on it for 9. Right?
Is that the term like?
I don't know.
9 years is a long time. Yeah. Yeah, that's,
I remember my first project in Webster Groves was Edward Children's Center, which is now something else. But I did an addition and I came to the ARB to present, and Mike was one of the board members, but I couldn't tell you the rest of them. One of them said something about they didn't like the metal siding, and then someone else goes, well, we just put it on the rec center over there. So it was like, oh, okay. So I guess it's okay. That's all I remember. 96. I think.
Oh, wow.
oh, wow, yeah. A couple days ago.
And it used to be in the room across the hall.
Yes.
They didn't have it in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's kind of a small room.
Yeah, kind of cramped, a little warm in there.
We're not cramped here.
Plenty of space.
All right, let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, welcome everyone online and in person. The Architectural Review Board meeting is now in session. We just completed our work session and the official meeting is now beginning. First to introduce Kelly Campbell and Will Penny with the City of Webster Groves, and then Carol Dunkey, Tracy Collins, Angela Thompson, and myself, Bob Buckman, were volunteer architects on the board. Next item of business, we have meeting minutes from August 5th. And I'm not sure, do we have enough to do this? No. Yes, 3 of you are here. And I was not. So with that, do I have a motion on the August 5th meeting minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the August 5th meeting minutes as submitted.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? All right, that is 3 in and approved, so those are approved. Next, we have a number of pre-approvals, which we did online with Mara and Kelly last week and over the weekend. So as I read through the list, I'll ask that the motion contain the script that's written before us, that was handed out and emailed by the city. First one is 684 Marshall Avenue. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 684 Marshall Avenue with the clarification that the metal awnings are to be removed and the new siding will match the existing, and the understanding that the pitch of the porch roof will be lowered. A small high window will be placed in the mudroom on the side elevation to match the first floor bathroom window. Lattice will be under the rear porch.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 684 Marshall is approved. Next, 8110 Big Bend. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 8110 Big Bend as submitted.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. 8110 Big Bend's approved. Next, 134 Euclid. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve 134 Euclid with the clarification that all windows are being replaced with matching grid patterns and that an additional high window will be added in the bedroom on the right elevation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. 134 Euclid's approved. Next, we have 452 Gray. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 452 Gray with the clarification that the whole house and addition will be recited and the understanding that a window will be added to the south elevation of the garage. The deck railing will be per the design details received on 8/7/21, and the stairs to the south will be designed to be less steep down into the basement.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, opposed. 452 Gray is approved. Next, we have 626 Westborough. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 626 Westborough with the clarification that the fiber cement trim will consist of 2 layers of fiber cement on top and behind the ironwork, and the existing double doors will remain.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, opposed. All right, 626 Westborough approved. Next, we have 608 Bacon. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 608 Bacon as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. 608 Bacon's approved. And then we had a preliminary move to vote. 32 St. George. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve 32 St. George with the following clarifications. A window will be added to the left side elevation and bedroom 2. A window will be added in the kitchen on the right side elevation. A roof will be added over the rear patio door. Windows will be added in the dining room, similar to those on either side of the fireplace. The front dining room window will be lowered to match the head height of the other front elevation windows. The stone on the front will wrap around the house on both the right elevation and onto the porch, right elevation onto the porch, and then the left elevation onto the garage door. The 2 gables on the front second floor will be integrated into a single gable.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, opposed. Okay, 32 St. George is approved. All right, next on the list, as we read off the project, if there's anyone here to speak up, I guess. If there's anyone online, raise your hand when we get to you. And we'll discuss the project. So the first one is a public hearing, 310 South Elm. And to construct a rear patio. Is there anyone online or is there anyone in the room that wants to speak on that one? 310 South Elm. Anyone online? Kelly? Okay. Hearing no one, then do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 310 South Elm as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Okay, 310 South Elm is approved. Next, we have 744 Clark. Is there anyone online? Please raise your hand. Is Jeff with us?
This should be Jen.
Oh,
Jeff doesn't. I haven't allowed
Jen. There's Jen.
Hello?
Hi,
Hello, who's with us tonight?
Greg and Jen.
Welcome, Greg and Jen.
Nice to be here. Thanks for working with us. It's been a process, but I think it's gotten a lot better.
Absolutely. Okay, I don't know if you heard our comments
Yeah, I was listening to him earlier. I just wanted to say we just moved in here. We were pretty happy to be here. Wife's family grew up here and it's what we always wanted. She had a front porch and was able to make friends with the neighbors. And that's probably our favorite thing about Webster is how it's just a nice, friendly community.
Okay, I think, do any of the board members want to make any comments in addition to what we said in the pre? Okay. All right, well, I think we're ready to vote.
All right. It sounds good for us, I think.
All right, do I have a motion on 744 Clark?
I'll make a motion to approve 744 Clark as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Opposed.
All right, that's 3-1, so it is approved as submitted. You guys are good to go.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too.
Next on the list, we have 649 Foot. Is there anyone online or in person?
Jeff Day is online.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm online, Jeff Day, and
welcome, Jeff.
Ryan is the builder.
Ryan?
Right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right, so this project obviously was approved by you previously, and in the process of building it, some decisions were made to, I guess, make it feel more modern farmhouse, if you will, like most people are doing. So they removed the shake. It felt a little too craftsman traditional for them. And the trim bands, the horizontal trim bands that we had didn't separate those. The homeowner felt that they kind of got lost with everything being white. They kind of got lost in the siding. I think I heard some of your comments when I was trying to figure out what was wrong with my monitor here to get logged on, but during your work session. But we're open to questions you guys may have.
Okay. Tracy?
Yeah, I think you explaining the reason behind it helps us, but I feel like it's just been so simplified. And I was wondering if we might be able to add a little bit more character back in on the sides and on the rear around the windows by adding trim to match the front.
Yeah, I don't think adding a trim around the windows would be an issue at all.
Can that be done on just the sides and not the rear? It's a big lot of trees.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it would have to be consistent throughout, because I mean, you don't want to just dress up the front. You want it to be consistent all the way around.
You know, some homes that put shutters on just the front.
Yeah.
What would be the difference?
I think I'm hearing Ryan in the background, but is there a microphone that he could be speaking into so that I can be a part of that conversation as well, please?
I think so. He's coming up now.
Sorry, Jeff. No, I was just saying to maybe just do the trim on the sides as well as the front and avoid the back, since it's a big lot and there's trees separating any homes from behind. And that would, essentially be like if you put shutters on the front of the house, you got to put them on the back of the house.
The shutters are different. So for me, I am only in favor of putting trim on the sides and rear of the house.
You mean front?
Not to have the windows at the back different than the other windows. It's one thing to make the trim a little less. So right now the trim there's not that much to it. In the original drawings, the trim was more detailed. So if you had a little more detail to the trim on the front and a little less detail on the sides and rear, but to have no trim is a little too plain.
Gotcha.
I agree that especially the rear elevation would be too plain. Because there's a door that apparently was not installed and there was a triple door that is now a single. So I would not have voted in favor of this rear elevation as we see it. It's just too plain. And I do understand you're talking about the trees are a buffer, but as we know, trees aren't always there. You know, a stormwater project or something comes through the neighborhood and that will all be gone. So I really don't think we should rely on trees to obscure a less than desirable elevation. So I would be in favor of the trim on the rear.
Is that the only comment you guys had, was the trim around the windows?
And the bandboard trim around the perimeter. There was,
That was eliminated just because it would be white and it would just, everything would be white all the way up anyway. The homeowner did not.
It does add detail to it, though. It's
yes.
actually something that's an important detail in a way for houses that are older. And it's something that's very commonly done. So it actually breaks up that vast.
No, I get it. It's a
Amount of
detail. I don't know
siding.
how important it is, but it's.
So it helps.
it's
It
what
helps.
It's what the homeowner wanted, what the client wanted.
Sure. Well, what we're saying is we'd like to see those band boards put back. And you don't have to put, there were quite a few of them in the original drawings. And I guess.
They were at the base and the top.
Yeah, and then they were at like every gable or
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah, on older homes, it's more common to have them only at the base. We did it on the upper areas to break apart the two types of siding, obviously. Would you guys be okay with it just going around the base? Like a typical 1900s house?
I personally would be fine with that option.
Yeah, I think that'd look nice. It would add just a little nice touch to the home, kind of set it apart.
Especially it would align there, I think, with the, yeah, how it doesn't necessarily line up, but with the porch and for that garage underneath, it
Yeah.
sort of cuts,
Good
puts that
suggestion,
piece
yeah.
there. The rear elevation is a little bit plain for me. I'm not sure. So there's no cover over that door. Is that correct?
The roof does hang over a little bit.
Right. It's just under the natural eave of the
Yes.
roof.
Well, yes, but that naturally sticks out about 2 feet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's in essence a covered door.
Yeah, there's not much else you could do there.
No.
Mhm.
Might even be a little more than 2 feet. Looking at this drawing.
I guess I don't know how a band board would work there. It was on the, I don't,
I guess it would just end right at the porch, the step going into the door, wouldn't it?
Well, we would almost have to raise it from where the drawing is, so it actually has a spot to stop and not look ridiculous.
right. I don't think you could do it like it was before.
Right.
But then it has to. I don't know. Does anybody else on the rear elevation, anybody else? think-
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's simple. It's simplified, but adding that trim to the windows and the board at the bottom, I'm good with it. I think it'll look really nice. I don't really have any other comments. Anyone else? So if you guys are good with that, we can make a motion. Jeff?
Ryan, that's your
Oh,
call,
Ryan.
contractor.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so what we're talking about is just adding that band board back, so it'd be on, or at the base.
Yeah.
As it was in the previous design, so it'll be on the front, the right, you know,
All around.
the rear and the left, just like it was in the last design, same elevation, just at the lower level. And then adding the same 4-inch window trim that's currently on the front and left to the rear and right. So that's really the question. If you guys are good with that, we can
Yes.
make a motion.
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you. With that, do I have a motion on 649 foot?
I'll make a motion to approve 649, but as submitted with the understanding that a band board will be added at the at the base of the building around all 4 sides and across the top of, including across the garage. It wouldn't be at the base there. And then window trim to match the front elevation will be added on the right and rear sides.
Second.
Can I ask you a question? What do you mean across the garage?
Well, the base of the building, it goes,
You want it across the top of the door?
yeah, so it just so it continues, circles the building, all at the same level.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't have to stop someplace.
Just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's why we said, the same location as the approved drawings previously.
Right.
Okay,
so it just goes all same elevation.
right. Don't step
Round.
down. Okay. Do a second from somebody?
Yep, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I opposed. All right, Ryan, Jeff, you guys are approved.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Yep, you're welcome. You as well. All right, next on the list. We are on, I'm not skipping anything, right? 20 East Allison, new house. Is there anyone here? To the microphone, I guess, right? Is that how we do it?
Yeah, can be done that way. Pick you up on the recording.
I'm Kevin Gerloff.
Kevin,
Yes.
welcome. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's the larger one. Yeah, so I think there was a question, I don't know if you heard our discussion at the beginning.
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. Somebody, Carol?
Yeah, we had reviewed this previously and there wasn't a representative of the project here to discuss it. And I believe those comments were forwarded to you. Did you get those?
I had some from. I didn't bring my glasses. The 21st. It was prior to the 21st of June.
Here, I'm
We had
looking,
some comments regarding column on the front elevation. Windows should have the same style, front elevation, head trim, band board, window door. That was the only comments I had received.
okay, the comments, when we looked at it again, were pretty much the same. We did notice that the window trim had been added to the sides of the rear, which was a nice improvement. But I think there was still a concern about the front elevation. We have the one taller column and then the one shorter column.
Correct.
And as I recall, I think the board was pretty much in consensus that gives a bit of an awkward appearance. And the suggestion was made to eliminate the shorter column and then just move the garage wall over into that location so that the first floor walls and the second floor walls line up, and that would eliminate that cantilever of the second floor.
Okay.
So that was the suggestion that was made.
The worst I see with that is the garage door would not be centered in the front face of that.
Right.
That seems better than having one short column and one tall
The
column.
only other that I could offer is, part of it is the living side of the house is 10-foot ceilings. Behind the garage, and that is an 8-foot ceiling, so we had the 2-foot differential. I could change it all to a 9-foot ceiling. If they want taller ceilings in the great room area, they could always do a tray or a coffered ceiling to give them an extra height. Then the columns would be the same. I don't like the idea of setting the garage. It's gonna look like somebody made a mistake, but all of a sudden the garage is off, the garage door is off by 2 feet. I think that's gonna look worse than the column. So I would rather change the first floor elevations all to 9 feet. Then you'll never see the cantilever at all. And it keeps my garage door centered in that area.
I guess if the columns are the same size,
Yes,
and
they
you
would
want
be.
to, you're okay with doing that, then
Yes.
I'm okay.
That would be fine.
Would work.
We had just two other little things. Did you?
Yeah, but I think that was the major item, and then there were a couple of other items. You know, the nice arch above the front door is a standalone piece is fine. But the suggestion was made that to flatten the head of the second floor window so that isn't the only arched one on the front elevation, and then to perhaps go ahead and then flatten the top of that gable louver vent.
I don't even remember drawing the arch over that one window. I'm sorry. Yes, I can take that off.
Okay, okay.
Don't make everybody do that. Don't have to cut an arch.
Yeah, that it's easier.
Yes.
Let's see, and then I'm just reviewing the rest of the notes here. Oh, I think there was some question about the window that's on the gable of the left elevation. And exactly,
It serves no purpose. I would really like to eliminate that if we could go with some type of event or other feature on the end of it, because it's just a window that's going to look into the attic, which would be a total waste.
yeah, I think the concern originally was that that was so blank up there. And as I recall, the original comment was to just add some sort of feature up there. And, you know, I can understand that, you know, that would be a big window that's really going nowhere. And I think there was concern about how that might look from the outside. So I guess I could ask the other board members
Yeah.
what instead of a window might be appropriate to help.
Well,
My
Yeah.
first thoughts was if we had shutters, I would just put shutters and make them appear to be closed, but we had shutters nowhere else on the house. It would look out of place.
yeah. Well, it looks like the attic's gonna be pretty good size though. Right? So what if,
Want to finish it?
yeah, what happens if you want to finish it off, later, then the window's pretty functional at that point.
So you're going to go with the standard W truss, so the ability to finish off the attic.
Oh, you're building out trusses and gonna make it uninhabitable?
Correct.
Oh.
It sounded good, though. I liked it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah, everyone does trusses anymore.
There are shutters on the front elevation,
Just on,
just on the
There's one.
front. Yeah.
just on the front.
There's a what?
There's shutters on the front elevation. There was a momentary mention of maybe putting shutters up there.
Right, as in they're in the closed position.
Yeah,
So that was one idea, instead of the window on the left, that you would just put closed shutters in that spot.
yeah. And
Well, what if we would add shutters to that entire, add shutters to the windows on the first floor and then the closed ones? Otherwise, I feel the ones closed up above are gonna look out of place because there's nothing else.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right, I agree as well.
Did we already mention the arch over the louver on the front?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I thought so, along with the window. But what about just a louver up there?
I think I would be okay with just a louver. At least it would be something.
Right.
uh,
So we don't have a fake window.
Right.
We're back on talking about the left side elevation. And eliminating the window into the attic. That would be just, looking at truss web numbers and just going with like a gable louver on that end, just to put some element up in there, that gable.
Just, so it's not blank, but you don't have a
Correct.
fake window.
Correct. I've always hated the fake windows because you can look up and see the trusses. I've never liked those. That,
Yeah, I guess it's not fake. It would have been real, but
I would, if I were doing this house, I'd stick build that roof so I could use the space.
yeah, it could be kind of nice. It's a lot of space up there. It's a big roof. But that seems to be,
so what would you prefer, shutters on the 3 windows at the bottom with full shutters at the top, or just a vent, some type of louver vent in the attic?
If you add shutters to the left side, would you add them everywhere else?
Pardon?
If you added shutters to the left side, would you add them everywhere else? Or would it just be this left side that gets that treatment?
The rear would be hard to add just to replace the windows, to be able to get shutters on all of the windows. I would just suggest adding them to.
In that case, I would go with personally, I would prefer a louver then. That way it doesn't look like we ran out of louver or shutters or something.
Yeah.
And I'll make it a fairly good size louver instead of just a little 18 by 24 inch louver, so, make it larger.
There's also on the right side elevation, for some reason, that smaller window looks like it has a different size trim, a different style of trim. And that might be just a graphics thing. There's, let's see, what does that go to?
this little one.
Oh, I see, on that small window,
Yeah,
that's just.
okay, yeah.
So I was just looking at the louver size, if it matches the one on the front, but it wouldn't have to have the arch. It seems like
I
that
would say
would
we're gonna take the arch off of the one on the front.
be, okay, I wasn't sure what size that worked.
I would like it with that roof, you're gonna have a lot of gable. I would rather have something a little larger than what I'm showing on the front.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think we've talked through the revisions that you're okay with, changing the plate height to 9 feet on the front, so the elevated, the columns are the same height.
Correct.
Along with the vent on the side. The window on the back. I didn't see that.
And then flattening the arch on the front elevation, window and vent.
Yep, okay. So if that sounds good, we can make a motion.
No problem.
All right. Which one are we? 20 act.
Yeah.
I know, it's got buried. With that, do I have a motion on 20 East Allison?
I'll make a motion to approve 20 East Allison with the following clarifications. The smaller window on the right side elevation, the trim will match the rest of the windows. On the left side elevation, the window in the gable will be eliminated and will be replaced with a gable louver vent. On the front elevation, the windows will all have the same flat head The gable louver on the front elevation, the arch will be eliminated and it will be flat as well. And the plate height will be changed to 9 feet throughout the first level. So the columns on the front porch will be the same height.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, you're approved. Bet, you're welcome. Okay, last one on our list, we have a preliminary review for 225 Baker. Is, sir, if you could just please come on up and we can chat with you at the microphone. Oh, it's,
That's good. There you go. Okay, my name is Frank Jackson. Frank Jackson.
Frank?
Yes.
Okay, welcome, Frank. Sorry.
That's okay.
Are you the homeowner or,
I'm the builder.
and the builder? Okay. All right, well, welcome. I don't know if you heard our discussion at the beginning. So, I mean, it's probably easy if we just, I mean, it seems like there's a few choices in here. And I guess maybe from your viewpoint, are you looking for one over the other or input from the board on which?
Really input from the board. I mean, I'm pretty open to this.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you think would be the best for that home.
Okay. I mean, I guess to start with the garage, Angela.
On the garage, you have two choices there with the brick or the stone on the front.
In actuality, I'm sorry, I didn't remember your name, but in actuality, they would just like to do regular siding and not stone or brick
That sounds fine.
because
Yeah.
the rest of the house doesn't have it.
Right.
Yeah.
So they really didn't want that. The architect stuck it under as an option, but we weren't going to do that.
Okay, I think it would look better personally. I don't know about everybody
Because
else,
there's
but it
no
would look
brick or
better
stone
with
in the
just
house.
siding. And then a little trim around the garage door drawn in for the final deal and the style of the garage door also on the drawing, so we know what it's gonna look like.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you're planning on putting trim around those windows on the garage. Would there be
Yes.
trim? There'd be trim around those, so if we could see that as well.
Okay. So the garage, clear on that one?
Yes.
All right, moving on to the front elevation. You have existing, you have a couple of options.
well, I mean, I guess before we get to the options, should
Yeah, I was
we
gonna
talk
say.
about the drawing? And how it doesn't look like it's actually relating to the existing conditions. Doesn't really, there's a lot of conflicts here with not showing the shutters. Looks like there's more space in between the first level windows and the roof line, the front detail over the door is different. It doesn't look like the base drawing is accurate.
The existing drawing.
Yeah,
Yeah, and there's a window missing. There's twin windows on both sides of the front door and there's it's shown as missing on the drawings. And then also there's a transom above the front. There's a transom above the front window that isn't shown on any of the drawings and it isn't addressed in the scope of work.
Okay.
And is the front door being replaced?
Well, they want to do one thing is make the porch go all the way across the front of the home. But then they want to relocate the door to the left. Where those twin windows are.
Okay, well, we would need to see that on the drawings.
That's what I'll. just-
Yeah, because it's not shown. It was in the written scope of work that the door was going to be relocated and replaced and that a window was going to be moved into the position of the door, but none of your drawings reflect that.
I'll make that happen.
So if that is indeed the scope of work, we would need to see that drawn.
Okay.
And then also too, in the different front elevation drawings, it looks like the relationship between grade and finished floor is not consistent throughout. So we would want to be sure to get that accurate because it would affect the look of that porch about how far out of the ground it is.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it looks like some of the drawings you have just the front porch drawn, and then on other drawings, there's the second floor addition for the bathroom. So is the bathroom addition, is that in the scope of work for sure?
Yes, it is.
Okay, okay, so these drawings that show just the porch are not pertinent?
Right.
Okay.
The one at that elevation shows that bathroom.
Okay. And then another item on page 2-2 regarding the existing conditions. When we're looking at the photographs here, the roof line is considerably different than what's shown in your drawings. And also the drawing that's labeled existing right elevation does not have the chimney. It doesn't have the windows in the second floor, and it does not have that gable louver. So we just need to have that depicted correctly as an existing drawing. And then so we have something to kind of compare it to when we're looking at the proposed elevation. And that on the proposed elevation on the right side, it does not show the chimney. Does the chimney remain, or is that being removed?
It remains.
It remains, okay. So we would need to have that reflected on that elevation.
So is your idea to completely get rid of the gambrel roof line?
The what roof line? I'm sorry.
The way it looks now with the double, it has two slopes in the roof line
The barn roof.
In the back of the house.
on the side, well, the sides
Yeah.
express that, and then that kind of goes down,
That goes away with this bathroom on top.
right? So
Let's see.
I just, for me personally, the pleasant features about this house are the gambrel roof and the symmetry of it.
yeah,
And I think we're losing a lot of that. I don't know if you all took a look at maybe how you could work your bathroom design to maintain that gambrel roof design. I think that would be very nice. And then also too, right now, the proposed right elevation shows absolutely no windows on the second floor on the right side. That's a very large expanse of blank siding. So I think it'd be nice to introduce some windows there and maybe rearrange your bathroom a bit. And it would help to have some more natural light in that bathroom because it looks like it's a pretty nice
understand.
bathroom. Yeah. And you might even, yeah, just, I think that, yeah, taking a look at those items would go a long way toward maintaining the charm of the home because it's a beautiful home.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
yeah, I agree. I don't think you want to lose that because
I'll get it on there.
it especially the left side isn't changing, right?
We're not changing them.
Right, so it might look kind of weird to have one side one way and one side the other way anyway, so, yeah.
I'll get it worked in there.
Yeah, I completely agree with that as well. The scale and the character of that house, the gambrel roof shapes on the ends are a big piece of it. So the spirit of that house, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the front door, but you're gonna move it? Is that
Well,
what
why
you
they
said?
want to move it is right now, it's one, I think probably when the house was built, there was like a center entry with a living room and let's call it a dining room.
Yeah,
Now, at some point during the years have gone by, they've made that one big room.
I see.
So it becomes a more usable room if the door's on one side instead of right in the middle of the room,
I see.
because the walls are gone now in there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a
Okay.
center entry anymore.
So you're gonna try to move the new entry to the right
To
or
the
left?
left,
To the left, the far left?
too far. 'Cause
Gotcha.
that, then it goes straight up the interior stairs there. There's
I see.
interior to the stairs.
Okay.
Yeah, I would really have to see how that looks. And you're eliminating the transom above the front door?
Yes.
Okay, even if you go with,
Well, we might not have to if we do a peek there. I'll have to look at that with the
Yeah.
architect.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's another one of those features that I think is really nice and you
I'll try to
don't,
work it out.
don't see too often anymore. So if there was a way to maintain that, I think that, that would help you maintain some of the existing charm of the home.
I'll work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like this house is a really good example of, you know, a simple house with a few little moves that give it all this charm,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Back in the day when they built it.
So did we mention the windows? Did you say that?
Yes,
Okay.
over on the bathroom side.
Yeah.
windows.
I mean, all the windows. It says here that so are you changing the windows or
I
not?
wasn't changing the windows.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Yeah, that's just, it's another minor point about the items, because that was a question of, about the existing elevations that are drawn. Because that was a question of mine. The photographs show 3/1 windows, and they're just depicted as 1/1s on the drawing. So
Okay.
that I was kind of wondering about.
I'll have it corrected because we weren't changing the windows.
Okay, great. Thank you. And also there was a item in the written scope of work that I wanted to check with you about. There was a reference to removing a window from an existing window from the side elevation, the right side, and relocating it in the
We're not doing
rear. Okay, that's not in the scope. Okay,
And I'll make that adjustment on your paper.
okay.
Okay, so I think we've covered everything. One of the things I was gonna, so since it's preliminary, I guess, basically, if you take our comments and go back and redraw it up to the version that you guys want, and incorporate some of the things that we've discussed, then the next time we meet, it would, you know, I think it'll be in a good spot.
Okay.
It's a little strange. I'm like, do you want these back?
No, you
Especially
can-
the photos.
The photos
No, you keep running.
in the gold.
But can I,
Let's pass
is there-
it. Okay, here's the whole thing.
Yeah, so we're just gonna pass those back around. But do you have any other questions for us?
I got one dumb question. If there's a dumb question I could ask.
There's no dumb questions.
Because this could take a little while and to make things move a little bit for the customer, can we get the garage approved or not? It's kind of a separate detached garage.
Oh, well, are you saying, based on the comments made tonight?
Yeah, well, I'm doing this cleanup on the house.
Oh,
Could I work forward on the garage? Or is that a dumb question?
I don't know.
It would end up being two separate
Permits.
applications, two separate
So it
permits.
wouldn't help anymore.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can do it if you want to do it that way, but you'd have to.
Just the garage.
Basically.
It's just the window trim and what the garage door looks like.
But would we have to go through the
And-
ARB? then? Sorry,
No, on the garage.
on the garage.
But it's not
portion,
that.
because
If they voted on the garage portion tonight, would not, if you're willing to do that.
Right.
Then you wouldn't have to come back before me for that.
Yeah, and then it would give me time to clean up this, but I could kind of be moving on that.
We could
Right.
do that.
What style of garage door? What are you
Carriage
gonna-
doors.
is it
Carriage.
Flush, just no windows.
No, I was gonna
Carriage.
do
Oh, carriage.
the carriage style doors with the hinge, looks like the
Yeah.
black hinges and
Okay.
stuff. They're nice doors.
And it has the windows in them.
And then
Trim around the.
trim
door.
around the windows and doors
And around the door.
And eliminate the masonry.
and all horizontal siding.
Yeah, it's all,
Yeah, all horizontal. Then they're doing coach lights on the garage door and then also on the man door.
Oh, and on this man door.
You guys, would you rather see that first?
I mean, I can see it in my mind.
Yeah, it's not that complicated.
It's a pretty typical detached garage.
Yeah, I mean, if we made that list, I'd be okay.
Yeah.
I know, and I think if you guys see it and it's something else, obviously.
I think we can.
Okay,
Just
so,
help the project move if that's okay.
yeah, no, I think under a normal circumstance, if this was just a garage, we could probably do that anyway. So you want to separate it out.
Well, I'm a small builder anyway. It's hard to do it all at one time anyway, so I could get on that. And by the time I clean
Understand.
this up, I could do that.
Yep, have a place a workshop when you're building the. Okay, so that's fine. So we can move the garage, the detached garage portion only from preliminary to and make a vote with that. Do I have a motion on 225 Baker garage? I think we're turned,
I didn't turn it off.
Angela is turned off.
Hello, okay.
There you
I
go.
must have done something. All right, I'm sorry. I will make a motion to approve 225 Baker, the garage, detached garage portion of the project, with the understanding that all of the siding will be horizontal siding. The garage door will be a carriage style door with lights at the top, and there will be a light in the man door. And there will be trim around the garage door, man door, and windows.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, you're approved on the garage, and you're good to go on that, Frank, and then the rest of the comments, we'll see when you get them done.
Now, what do I-
All right, I guess we're officially adjourned. Thank you all. And Emerson Smith, sorry, I didn't mention you earlier. Did he come on late? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so,
Okay,
because that seems.
Oh,
like-
yeah, I came in late.
okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, we are good to go. So next, see you guys, what, few weeks?
Yep.
Yep, we're adjourned.
All righty.
So what are we doing with this pile of stuff?
Well, but the photos at least from.
Recycling it?
Yeah, I guess.